Hi, it's Jen reading another chapter of my book for people who don't like to read. A Single Expectation. So many choices in this life. Where to live, what schools to attend, what job to take, what shoes to wear, what church to attend, which higher being draws you in enough to invest all your deepest inner faith, what politician to trust with the well-being of our country's growth, prosperity, and safety. All of these commitments and lifestyle choices we must make to survive. Most often, choices that our family and peers hopefully accept and respect, even if they may not desire that same way of living for themselves. What food to eat every day. You may prefer a plant-based diet with little to no dairy, or just go full carnivore and slaughter a pig, skin a cow. Have the audacity and heartlessness to look a poor, sweet deer in those robust, beautiful brown pupils, and still be able to shoot him in the face and enjoy their inner guts next to a side of cheesy potatoes au gratin. All these choices that for the most part go unquestioned by the general group of surrounding acquaintances. But I don't desire to live with a man, and therefore there is a confused concern. What the hell is wrong with her? Probably a lot, but that's none of your business. I have absolutely no problem with the fact that I do most daily activities alone, but I have learned in my almost half a century of gallivant roaming that most of the general public is not as comfortable with my chosen manner of living, which is why the low level of single girl support I get is all the more frustrating. Middle-aged, unwed people are needed in the world too. We are essential, like liquor stores and weed dispensers during the great 2020 COVID pandemic. Every other business had to close. Why did those retailers get a free pass? Because they provided an escape? Or maybe because the government knew if they shut all access to these mind-altering services, the backlash of your standard repressed humans' built-up anxiety and rage would make the BLM protest look like a Disney-inspired New Year's Day rose parade. But in all somewhat seriousness, us isolated, partnerless people are essential. We are the reality check for those married folks who question if they made the right decision, then see a 50-year-old woman on a solo late-night 7-Eleven stop purchasing pre-cooked taquitos whilst smuggling free mayonnaise packets into her oversized hoodie, and realize that maybe it is a bad idea to seek out that stranger you met at the Whole Foods buffet. And you probably could put a little more effort into making your spouse happy. Somebody's cheating at the Whole Foods buffet, I guess. I may have ignorantly and unknowingly saved countless marriages just from going out for a most likely unneeded late-night snack. Why is it acceptable and never questioned to be allergic to peanuts or cats, even drugs? You can die from an overdose from any of these, and there is most often a sympathy for those afflicted. But when the allergy is to men, it is rarely ever discussed, but instead just brushed off as, she must be crazy. I mean, I am, but what if men are my heroine and I have finally chosen to give up the addiction? What if I am in recovery? What if I'm in a recovery that involves a lot of long solo walks, sports watching, and late night devouring of Cheez-Its on my couch? What if this, to others seemingly lonely lifestyle, is actually bringing me more peace than I have ever felt because it's the first time in my life I am doing what makes me happy instead of feeling the need to constantly adhere to someone else's needs, believing that if I do, they will want me. It's a long sentence. Are you starting to understand how this allergy is worse than nuts on a plane? An ex-boyfriend once told me I was emotionally anorexic, a phrase I had never heard, and at first just assumed he had made it up. But he was involved in several 12-step programs, so I guess if there is a circular setup of chairs somewhere in a church basement dedicated to these types of hardwired brains, It must be a legit neurosis. To his credit, though, based on my diet and comfort zone and feeling physically hungry and somewhat emotionally disconnected, it isn't hard to figure out. I seem to have a shared malaise of food and love. What is the fear of a full heart or a full stomach? Discomfort? Discomfort is the only word that comes to mind. Maybe I am not currently meant to be with only one person because that one person takes my attention away from not only my personal needs, but others as well. The weird thing is my heart is filled almost every day. It just happens to come from small interactions in random locations. No, not sexual if you're thinking that. With a grocery store employee, a random passerby on the street, or most recently, a squirrel whom makes its way daily to my porch and that I find way too much enjoyment in feeding. He's since passed. I think he hasn't been here in a while. But I have no doubt I'll eventually become one of those couples that can't get enough of each other. Let's hope. But for now, I'm enjoying Monday Night Football, free balling on the couch with some barbecue flavored Fritos, and a faith I am on the path that was meant for me. I hope you enjoyed. You should go to Amazon and buy my book. Even if you don't like to read, just buy it. It might be a collector's item someday.